14 points, 10 assists. Emmanuel Mudiay just debuted for the New York Knicks. Let's talk about it. Big shout out to House of Highlights as we check out Emmanuel Mudiay highlights from today's game. Lily Phillips, Famous, Simeon, Nate, Shamik, what's poppin', everybody? How y'all feel about today's game? Brian, I see you sign. Triple G, you say a loss that made you happy. I'm with you, Triple G. Brian, I see you sign, but I'm kind of with Triple G. It's a loss that I see made me happy. As you can see the highlights here, see Emmanuel Mudiay, 14 points, 10 assists. He didn't shoot that great from the field, but we can forgive that. We can forgive that. But the youth movement is on, and I'm glad to see Emmanuel Mudiay get as many minutes as he did. And I like what I seen from Emmanuel. He looked good. He's not perfect, but he looked good. So let's talk about it a little bit. What do you guys think about it? How you guys feel about Mudiay's debut today? I mean, I don't know if what people expected. I expected him to kind of what do you want to say? Smooth his way into the game. But he came in and he just took it for what it was. You know, he wasn't afraid. He didn't play timid. You know, he played, it almost looked like he'd been part of the team for a while. So, you know, I was impressed. I was definitely impressed. The ball was moving. You know, Mikey Mike, here we go. Everybody wants to start the comparisons with Frank, better than Frank. I don't think that's what it's about. And we're going to get to that in a minute, but I don't think that's what it's about. Yeah, Siobhan. And Siobhan, I want to, I definitely want to give you a shout out because the last two streams, Siobhan, you gave me super chats and I didn't get a chance to shout you out. So I'm glad you're back so I can get a chance to shout you out now. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But you say Mudiay's first game with no practice was good, for sure. With no practice, it was good. He had energy. He's obviously able to play that pick and roll game. And I like that pick and roll game. He can attack the basket. A couple of shots he took maybe were questionable, but he's 21 years old. You know what I'm saying? So that's cool. That's okay. It should be expected. 21 years old, going to be 22. You know, it should definitely be expected. But it was a good debut. 14 points, 10 assists. I think he shot 37.5% from the field. And we're going to check that out in a minute. Yeah, I think it was something like that. 37.5% from the field. So I think, you know, like everyone has said, that Emmanuel Mudiay needs to improve his field goal percentage by learning how to finish. And that's cool. That's cool. That's okay. We can give him time for that. You know, French Unicorn, appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. You say shout out to Far. I'm not sure who Far is, but big shout out to you, Far, from the French Unicorn. But Mudiay's got to learn how to finish a little bit. And that's cool. That's okay. As I think I was watching a little bit of I was watching Alan Hahn a little bit. And he was talking about how Mudiay hasn't really been coached much. And it's true. If you recall, Mudiay, and we talked about it a little bit in the last show, Mudiay was supposed to go to SMU with Larry Brown. He went to Deion Sanders prep school, which academically wasn't where it's supposed to be. So he didn't get a chance to go to SMU. And Deion Sanders prep school was basically it wasn't really a prep school. It didn't really focus on academics. It was really a school that focused on athletics. Academics was secondary. And so, when he was there, he probably didn't get the kind of education that he needed, first and foremost, but he didn't get the kind of coaching that he needed either. It wasn't that kind of school. It was really the kind of school where you accumulate talent to try to, develop a name for yourself. He got caught up in that a little bit. So he didn't get a lot of coaching. And then he went to China, played 10 games or so in China, didn't get too much coaching. And then now he was drafted in 2015, went to the Nuggets. They had a coaching change. So Mudiay's raw, but you can see the raw talent and what it can develop to be. And we've seen a lot of players that have his kind of talent and his kind of ability that do not turn out to be the player that we expect. But I think we need to give him time. We need to make sure we have the right coaches that can help him develop. And if he develops the way that we think he can develop, he can be a monster in this league. And he could be a monster for the Knicks. So I'm very, very pleased with what I seen tonight. Very pleased with what I seen tonight. And I can't wait till tomorrow night. Can't wait till tomorrow night. So I can watch these guys play again. I can watch Mudiay play again. I'm anxious to see his development and what's to come next from Mudiay. Not taking calls yet, guys. My man from France is calling in. I'm not taking calls yet, but I'll get you. I'll get you in a minute. I'll get you soon. All right. But it was impressive. It was definitely impressive, and something that I'm looking forward to. Definitely looking forward to it. And I seen a couple of people, or one or two people, talk about Jared Jack and say, why did Jared Jack play at all? You know what? I'm fine with the way things went down. I'm cool with it. Jared Jack played whatever it was, however many minutes he played, 8 minutes. And Frank had 30 minutes or 31 minutes, whatever it was. Mudiay had, like 30 minutes. That's cool with me. That's fine. The way that it went down today, I'm cool with it. Trey Burke, I kind of feel bad for him a little bit, but I could see it coming once we got Mudiay. But I'm sure he'll get a little bit of, he'll get some more burn in there. He'll get some more burn in there, I'm pretty sure. But let's talk about this Frank and Mudiay combo. It was impressive indeed. Very nice to see. The way that they're able to have playmaking on both sides of the floor. I like it. I like that. Whoever brings the ball up, one of those two was able to go to the off guard position. The other one was able to command the floor and decide, what play they were going to do or whatever it was. Obviously, Mudiay doesn't have a grasp of everything with the offense, but that'll come. He'll get it. He'll get some time. I'm sure he looked at some film and he looked at maybe they went over a few things in shoot around. He won't get a chance to practice tonight because they're on their way to Philadelphia. But then they will, or is it home or in Philadelphia? I guess it doesn't matter. Whichever way it is. They're getting ready for tomorrow's game. So he won't get a chance then. But as we get over that All-Star break, he'll get a chance to really dig into the offense, practice with the team, and really learn the ins and outs of the offense. And then we'll see what happens from there. Hopefully he doesn't start thinking too much once he starts to go through that offense. You can see tonight he wasn't really thinking. He was playing. He was just playing off instinct. That's all that he could do. once he starts to learn the offense, hopefully he doesn't start to think too much and he just continues to play. That's what I want to see. Just let him continue to play. And as he practices the offense, it'll come naturally in the game. Come naturally in the game. But the Frank and Mudiay combo, I think, is impressive. I like it. You know, the ability to have either guy work on opposite sides of the floor. Pretty soon they'll have the ability to work off of each other. But there was no issues at all. So many people, you know, they want to, you know, they want to say who's going to be the lead guard, who's going to be the guy that takes control. It doesn't have to be that way. You don't need to have one guy who's calling out everything every single time. If you have two playmakers on the floor, whoever gets the ball at that time, it's only a benefit to the team when you have two guys that can make plays and you have two guys that can create. They can whichever one gets the ball, they can push it on the break. They can slow it down if they want to. They can decide what play is going to be next to be called. And either one then knows what to do and where to be. And if both of them can be a threat offensively, from three, through penetration, through pick and rolls on either side of the floor, that makes us very dangerous, in my opinion. Makes us dangerous because many times, you know, you'll have a point guard and then you'll have a shooting guard. And the shooting guard may not be too much of a creator, just a straight up shooting guard. But if you have two guards that can interchangeably move in between each position and both be effective, geez, I mean, you put a lot of teams in trouble. You put a lot of teams in trouble, and you could see the potential tonight. You could see the potential. You know, in that first half when they first got in, it was almost like they had been playing together for a while, honestly. Honestly, it was like one of them would get the ball, come up the floor, the other one move to the shooting guard spot. Mudiay get the ball, come up the floor, maybe come to that right side, run some screen and roll. Frank knew exactly where to go. Frank came up on maybe the left side of the floor, run screen and roll. Mudiay knew exactly where to be. They both know how to come back to the ball to get the ball so that they can reverse it. There's a lot of pluses with having 2 6'5" guards that can both play point guard on the floor. And you know, Frank played good. I see some people, you know, talking about Frank. Frank played well. He shot seven times, scored 12 points. You know, there are still those times that, you know, Frank has an open shot. He has it right there and he doesn't take it. We're going to have to live with it until he learns to take those shots. What I'm encouraged about is that he can get to those positions on the floor. You know, when Ntilikina is able to get into a position where he has a shot, that's a plus there because not everyone can get in that position. Okay, not everyone can get there, but the fact that he's able to get there and he's 19, that's a plus and that's a good sign because eventually he'll learn to take that shot. And Mudiay has some of the same issues. You know, he's in between of when to go all the way to the basket or when to pull up. Of course, he's a little bit more aggressive than Frank, as we can see. You know, but he still needs to kind of figure out when to go, when to pull back, when to pull up the mid range, things like that. But that's okay. That's cool. That's why they're young. You know, that's why they're 19 and 21. Mudiay about to be 22. That's why they're young. And that's why they're learning And I'm glad to see them both here and with the ability to work off of each other. Now comes the question, of course, and this is, of course, far down the line. You know what I'm saying? This is down the line. And Eminem 22-813, you can call back in. Right now, I'm just opening it up to Eminem. And then once Eminem is done, I'm going to open it up to other people. I want to bring him on because he's a brother from France that I want you guys to meet. All right, so Eminem, when you're ready, you can call in. And then I'll open it up to everybody else. If it's not Eminem calling in, I'm going to ignore it until I get Eminem calling me back. But what we've seen from the two, there's a lot, they've got a lot of work to do. They got to develop, and that's okay. But the question, as we start getting further along in the future, we got a lot of things to work out. We have an extended tryout for some of our players. We have an extended tryout from some of our players, and that's okay. And Eminem, I'm gonna get to you in 1 minute. All right, just let me finish this up. So we have an extended tryout, but there's gonna come a point where we're gonna have to figure out if we're gonna go with Frank and Mudiay as a combination. What happens with Hardaway? People are saying Lee is going to be gone, and he's probably, if anything, Lee, if he does have a long-term future with the Knicks, it's off the bench, right? Lee, that'll be off the bench, and then we got Hardaway. If you're going to be going with Frank and Mudiay, then where's that leave Hardaway? Because eventually we're going to get a legitimate three. So, there's something there that we have to look at. But that's down the line. I don't want to cause any problems right now. You know what I mean? But that's going to be something that's down the line that we're going to have to think about. If we really do want to go with Mudiay and Ntilikina. And I think we should really, really give it a push. The Ntilikina and Mudiay, I think we should really give it a push to have two playmaking guards on the floor. And Hardaway is not really a playmaking guard. He's just not. But I like the idea. You guys could see it tonight, the way that the ball was moving. And this was just the first game. Now, players are in their honeymoon periods too, right? So when you're in your honeymoon period, you're going to be nice to each other a little bit. As that honeymoon period starts to fade away, some of the players' real tendencies start to come out. So, we'll see some of those things in Mudiay, I'm sure. And after a while, we'll start to notice some things that we don't like or do like, and some of those kind of things. All right. But I'm going to open up. I want to introduce you all to a guy who runs a Knicks podcast in France. Okay, so I want you guys to listen. I'm going to introduce you. Say what's up to him in the chat. He's been in the chat a few times. And, he just wants to, I'm sure he wants to come in and talk about Frank and Mudiay because, as you all know, they have similar backgrounds coming from, similar African backgrounds, and both are fluent in France, in French. Okay, so, my man, can you hear me? Eminem, can you hear me? Or maybe he can't hear me. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Okay. Can you hear me? Hey, French Knicks podcast. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm not sure if he can hear me. Well, I'm not sure if he can hear me right now. So we'll just continue on. If you can hear me, you let me know. All right. Yeah, I can hear, bro. Oh, you can hear? You can hear me? Are you ready to go on live?
I'm ready to go on live.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
He's
I heard you.
all right. So give a shout out to the chat then, my man.
Yeah.
All right. You want to give a
What's
shout?
up to the chat?
All right. So good, good. So how did you feel? Just let me know, how did you feel about the Knicks tonight? Introduce yourself first of all. Why don't you introduce yourself to the chat? Let them know who
There
you are.
is an. I heard, but there is an echo. I heard you, bro. There is an echo.
You're from the French Knicks podcast, right?
Yeah, I heard you, but there is an echo.
Oh, there's
Yeah,
an
I'm ready
echo.
to go on live.
Okay, there's an echo. So what you might need to do is you might need to turn yourself down in the back.
Shout out to the chat, man.
Definitely. So tell me what did you like about what you seen tonight with Frank and Mudiay?
So, so the next game, yeah, from the French Nick podcast.
Yeah, so tell me just tell me what did you like about the game tonight? What you saw. Did you watch the game?
Yeah,
Yeah, so tell me what you liked about it. All
I
right.
love to see what I saw about the game. I love to see what about Frank. I love what I see about Mudiay because he did the both player did a great game.
Okay. You know what? This is what I'm gonna have to get you to do, man. I'm gonna have to. We're gonna have to talk offline so we can make sure that we have this right. Because I think things are a little uh, mixed up right now. All right, because I don't think everybody can hear you.
Okay, because I heard you and I don't understand. I see you on the screen on YouTube, and I see the show and show there is a little echo, and I heard me.
Yeah. Are you hearing the echo now?
Yeah, there is still an echo.
Still an echo.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, why don't you just go ahead and talk to the chat? Tell us what you think about the Frank and Moutier combo.
You want I talk in the chat or
Nah,
yeah?
nah. I want you to talk now. They can hear you.
Okay, so hello to the chat. I just want to say to the chat, there is a great opportunity to the next fan to see what Frank can do with Moody because they speak both the same language. And I see, the progress of Frank. I see the progress of Moody, have a better percentage of his shot. And you see Frank, go to the 0%, on the court and make his shot. And you see, the good, the good effect of the same language.
Yeah. So you think that the fact that they speak the same language, that they could both speak French, is going to be an advantage for them on the floor?
Yeah, it helped Frank to know to do better and to accelerate his improvement of the game, and it's just better for the next for the future. And I told you in the podcast, and you say me the truth. Frank need to be more aggressive, and I think with Moody he will be more aggressive. He will be really really better. And for me, to Moody to see what the tempo Frank wants to do with Onachek, fast tempo and the transition, it's better for the both player and for the next, to have, other way to shot less and have a better open shot and better percentage. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think so. I think Moutier, just like we talked about with Trey Burke, the ability for Trey Burke to penetrate and kick, excuse me, would help Frank. And I think that the ability for Moutier to penetrate and kick, and Moutier, I think, creates things a little bit more than Trey Burke does. I think he
Yeah.
creates. He's a better creator. And I think that is also going to help Mudiay. I mean, I'm sorry, it's going to help Frank. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to help.
Yeah.
It's going to
Mm,
help Frank as well
mm.
with Mudiay's ability to create.
Yeah, we can say that Mudiay is a better version of NBA player of Trey Burke.
Yeah.
And
How,
it can be, help the both player and the Knicks. And on that check, like you said, you stay a great speech today with Mudiay 6'5" and Frank 6'5". Both can play one or two, like combo perfect, for the future of the NBA, like big guards. You have KP 7'3", and when you have counter, you have second chance. So you can miss shots sometimes, like Hardaway, Frank, or Mudiay, but you have the second opportunity to be more aggressive and to make shots.
right.
For the Knicks, it's good. It's better to have Hardaway and to have Frank and Mudiay on the court than the Jared Jack. I'm sorry for Jared. He's a great vet. He helped a lot Frank. It's the truth. But in the future, Moody and Frank are the better starter, for the 1 and 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when I don't see if you see, a good vibe between the two players and other way, the assist and how many assists tonight for it's 10 for Mudiay.
Yeah. Mudiay had 10 assists tonight.
Yeah, it's the only 10 time in the second time in his 200 NBA games with 10 assists and less than 3 turnover. So
Right.
it's a like with Frank, you need to take care of it, to the ball. So with Frank, he will take his ball, safe, and for the future, it's good because I see in the draft Miles Bridges from Michigan State will be the perfect free for the Knicks, and it will be a good roster next year with Conte, KP, Bridges, Frank, and Mudiay. What do you think about that?
Well, if that is what happens, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But I think that would be, I think that'd be ideal. I think it'd be nice.
Because all the players I told you is 6'5" minimum, 6'5", 6'5",
Yeah.
6'9",
And
7'3", and 7.
Yeah. 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 So because we got some people that's gonna call on, and maybe one of these days we'll get a longer session with you. But I just want
I'm
to ask
sorry
you.
to the chat for the echo. It was my fault about my computer, and I heard you good, and I'm sorry about the beginning I see on the chat. I'm sorry, guys. Hope
Nah, don't worry
everyone
about
good.
it. Don't worry about that, man. Everybody in here is cool. Trust me.
Okay. Yeah,
Everybody in here
yeah, I
is real
see.
cool.
Yeah.
Everybody that comes on to the chat and that listens in, they're all Knicks fans. They're not worried about all that. They just want to talk about Knicks and have fun. So yeah, it's cool, man. I
Sorry
just want
for
to ask
the.
you this.
Yes, I
Um,
thought I. Okay.
um, Over in France, how do people feel about Mudiay?
Um, I I talked today with one friend of mine who live in Africa,
Mm-hmm.
and he said me Mudiay is the second best player in Africa after Joel Embiid. He's better than
Mm.
Ibaka. He's better than Siakam. He's better than every African player except Joel Embiid. And he said me, he gave you Mudiay gave you 100% time everything he has on his hurt. He gives
Yeah.
everything he has. So it's good for the Knicks to be, an aggressive point guard with Frank. For the future is great, and I don't know how many a year there is in his rookie contract. But if he can play 1 year and a half for the Knicks with a rookie contract, is good for the future
Yeah.
because we can have Frank, and like you said, he has only 21, so a backcourt with two guys with 19 and 21, it's good for the future.
Yeah.
Like you said, the future of the NBA is taller than never. So to have 2 6'5" point guard, it's good.
It's good. Yeah, definitely. Um, I'm gonna follow up to that, but I'm gonna log off because I know I got some people that want to call on. But hey, I definitely thank you for. I know you stay. It's like probably I don't know what time is it over there.
2:40.
Yeah, two in the morning, man. So I appreciate
Yes.
it. All right, and
No problem, bro.
we can
Every
definitely.
time. Sorry for the sound
It's
at
cool.
the debut. It was my fault. So if you want 5 minutes next game, the sound will be better. And sorry to the chat. Appreciate all the good message of the chat. And always good to talk to you about the Knicks. Everyone who listen the Simeon have to know he's a great man, great Knicks fan. He did a great podcast with me in the French Knicks podcast on SoundCloud. And next this week we will have Ian Begley from ESPN with all the new information of the Knicks. So if you want to hear that, maybe Simeon come in the podcast. So thanks for the opportunity every time, and love what you do for the Knicks and all the French fans who are in the garden last week. Love the Knicks also.
All right,
Great future with Frank.
Appreciate it, man. All right, hey, guys. Check out the French Knicks podcast. You can check them out on Twitter.
Yeah.
Check them out, and I appreciate it, man. People, we got Knicks fans all over the world. Definitely, Knicks fans all over the world. We had a little bit of technical trouble in the beginning, but that's cool. That's what happens when you're on live. You know what I'm saying? When you're on live, you're gonna have some technical trouble. But the Frank Mudiay combo, the fact that he does speak French, is gonna help both of them. As they said that they might speak a little bit of French on the floor. Hopefully that doesn't cause any problems with the coaching staff. And I'm pretty sure you guys heard I don't know if it's rumors, but or whatever it was. I'm sure you guys heard about the coaching staff having problems with KP and Billy speaking Spanish in practice. You know what I'm saying? If Mudiay and Frank are speaking French, what's the difference? What's the difference? I don't know, but the fact that maybe they can communicate with each other on the floor without some of the opposing players knowing what's going on. Famous, nah, man, that wasn't Frank. Wasn't Frank, man. He runs a podcast over in France, and I was on his podcast. And I told him, I would definitely like if he called in sometimes, and so hopefully he calls in again. And I know they got like I think it's called like Knicks Nation or French Knicks Nation, and they got hey Mark, give me a call back. I accidentally hit the wrong button. Give me a call back. They have a French Knicks Nation. And they meet at a pub whenever the Knicks play early games. They meet at a pub. So at some point, he's going to call in while they're at the pub, and they'll be on live, and we'll see him all over there at the pub. I thought it'd be pretty cool, So it's a good thing, we got to kind of test it out now, and then when that time comes, we'll do it. Mark, give me a call back, man. But I'm excited to see what these guys can do together. We're going to have some decisions to make in the future. And that's cool, but I'm definitely excited to see, everything that they can do together. All right, Mark, what's popping, bro?
What up, chat? What up, Simeon?
How you feeling?
Man, I like what I saw tonight. Jared Jack sitting his ass down. Oh, tonight was good from the small sample size of what we got or whatnot. I'm not mad, but we gonna lose badly though. A lot of these games, it's gonna be hard to watch them and whatnot.
We might.
But I'm glad that I saw 30 minutes from our French guys. So,
Yeah.
I'm not really upset.
There might be some tough games. There might be some tough games coming up, but
there's gonna be hella tough games.
I don't care if there's tough games. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if we're losing games. If we're, I'm sure we're going to be trying to win games, right? And we're going to be trying to win games.
Defense is horrible.
And if we
God
do start winning some
damn.
games, I want them. If we start winning some games, I want them to continue, right?
Yeah.
You know, playing guys that's gonna win us games. Talk about the young guys. If we start winning games with the young guys, I want them to continue to play those young guys. Even if we're winning, even if people say, well, it's messing up our draft position, whatever, I want them to play the young guys if they start winning games. But
Yeah,
I'm glad that we're playing the young guys.
You know what you know what's like killing me? Nah, you know what I'm wishing right now? I'm hoping Cantor opt out. I really am, because I would take Cantor. But boy, yo, his defense it's so bad. It's like you can, anytime someone got the ball near him, you can count it as a basket. And paying him $18 million next year, and that the fact that the salary cap is staying where it's staying, so that's kind of like a bad contract.
Yeah.
Bad contract paying him that much for next year, even though it was his last year.
Yeah.
Because now that the fact that the money has slowed up, a lot of these contracts that was given last 2 years, they're like the horriblest contracts in NBA history. So I'm hoping he opt out, but I doubt it, because he's not gonna get 18 nowhere. He's not gonna get 18 nowhere. A lot of these subpar players, they ain't gonna get these contracts that those other players got the last 2 years.
Right. Well, Cantor got that contract. He got that contract a while ago.
Yeah, he got that contract from OKC, because it was at that time it was a tradable contract in due time, and it was.
Right. They thought it was going to be a tradable contract.
I
guess they thought his defense was going to pick up a little bit.
Nah, his feet's too bad. When you have bad feet like that, you can see it from his feet. He's not ever gonna be good on defense. Not if he put his mind to it. It's really bad.
Probably not, because he's not an athlete, and he's got great footwork on offense, but he can't move his feet laterally enough on defense.
Yeah, his lateral, and Kyle Quinn lateral suction is horrible. God.
Which is the reason why he's a backup. He's a backup
guy.
And he's a guy that could probably win Sixth Man of the Year, because even as a backup center, easily as a backup center, he could get 25 minutes a game and average a double.
Easily.
You know what I'm saying?
Easily.
But I don't think he's gonna opt out. He knows he's not gonna get $18 million.
Yeah, he's not getting 18. He's not getting 18 nowhere. No. Like, those contracts are dead now. Like, teams, if you seen from the trading deadline, you seen teams, they're making sure next time they ain't gonna be paying all this money, because God knows. I don't know why the NBA or why teams help LeBron James. Like, why do they do that? That got me tight today.
Listen,
why do teams help that guy?
LeBron has been having his way like that since he left Miami.
Since he was
in middle school. He brought his whole AAU team to one high school. His whole AAU team
this kid
to one high school, man.
Players.
Yeah, man.
Like,
it's crazy.
And the funny thing is, like, I always say this when I watch LeBron. He gives these players, I call it magic fingers. Anytime he passes the ball, they're just gonna, like, players you wouldn't even think, they're just gonna score. They're gonna make threes. That shit is depressing, because teams is out here building a team to beat him, but y'all helping him. How you helping one of the best players in the league?
Yeah. But they helped them. But
son, what I saw today,
Cleveland could also be helping the Lakers to get him. No,
they helped the Lakers, but you know what?
They could be also helping the Lakers to get him. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, Cleveland. If you look at those trades, man, they got young guys back, and
LeBron ain't leaving. If y'all think LeBron is leaving, he's not leaving.
He might not.
What they just equipped him with is what he. Did you see how happy he was on the floor?
Yeah, I know, and you can see a renewed energy, everything.
Yo, he act like a chick that got burned by a guy. After he got what he wanted today, he was happy he was so happy.
He was happy. Yeah.
He did not act like that the last games that he was playing with those guys.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see how that works out. I mean, right now, obviously,
Oh
it's working
yeah,
out pretty good.
you know
but-
what too, y'all?
Well,
Yo,
tonight it worked out good. We'll see how it works out.
next year I'm thinking about next year sometime. I'm thinking about trading Hardaway, man, because listen, man, he looks very tunnel vision. Oh,
And this is what we were just talking about before.
he looks very tunnel vision,
Yeah, before
and
we
I
had our
cannot
guy.
have that.
Before we had our guy from the French Knicks podcast on, that's what we were just talking about. If you're gonna play Mudiay and Frank, if you're gonna play that combo, Hardaway's not a legitimate three. We're gonna
No, he
pick
can't.
up.
He
We're
can't,
gonna
and he
get a
can't guard a
legitimate
lick.
three. We're gonna
He's
get
another one with bad lateral foot movement.
Yeah.
He don't have good movement on his feet.
So eventually he's going to be. We're gonna get a legitimate three. So then, what do we do with Hardaway?
Well,
And
you know
now-
what's so funny? You know what's so funny that we 8 spots from the top 5 pick. We 8
Yeah.
spots away from top 5 pick.
We are.
And listen, man, if we get into that top 5, it's 2 players who I would want out of that draft. It's either that Bamba guy. I don't want Donich. I don't like him like that. I don't like him like that.
Have you watched
I don't think
him?
he would translate too well.
Have you watched him play?
Yeah, I watched him play, but
I haven't
it's
watched
all in
him.
I watched him play. He's good, but I don't think he's gonna be that impactful. It's a difference. He'll be a good player, but I'm talking about like real impactful.
What I'm looking for, I haven't watched him play.
It's 2 players out of that draft. Is that Bamba kid? It's something about him. It's something about him, and you see the 18 kid. I like him. Questioning. It's similar to like Ben Simmons. They got all the tools, but you questioning a motor. That's what I'm afraid of. His motor. With those 2.
And I haven't really watched Doncic or however you say his name. But
Doncic.
What I'm looking for is a guy that is really athletic, really aggressive. And, of course, can go out and hit the 3. And, just has that nasty kind of game. That's somebody that I.
You know who's
that
like that too? It's this one kid. I forgot his name. He has dreads, and I think he plays for I think it's Villanova. I'm not too sure, but he's a he's good, but he's one of those players. He has to be on a great team for you to see his potential. If he comes to a young team, he ain't gonna be that good. He's one of those players. He's like one of those players like Draymond. If he's on a bad team, you're not gonna see the real Draymond. He has to be on. He has to be on good teams.
About Bridges? You talking about Bridges?
Yeah, that played for Michigan. Everybody want him.
Oh.
He's a good player on a great team if he's gonna get drafted. But on a young team like us, I don't know. He's not gonna reach his full potential.
Okay. Yeah. Well, listen, I got some other people that's trying to call in and kind of blowing it up.
All right, man. Yo, shout out to the chat. Shout out to Tank Life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to the Tank Life.
Right. I hear you. All right, man. Appreciate the call. I want to give a shout out to the French Unicorn for a couple of the super chats that came in. Didn't get a chance to. Big shout out to the French Unicorn. Talking about different lineups. We were talking about Frank Mudiay. Lineup changes are going to happen. They're coming soon. Right. All right. We got another call. My man, I got Troy.
Yo, what's good, man?
Troy, do me a favor. Give a shout out to the chat, please.
What's up, chat?
Yes, sir. So, Troy, this is what I'm going to ask you. There's going to be some lineup changes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Let me see. All right. I got some people calling in. Listen, guys, when I have somebody on the line, I can only take one person at a time. So once we got Troy on the line now, I'm about to put 5 minutes on the clock. And then, we can jump on to the next person. But this is what I want to ask you.
Yeah, what's up, bro?
There's going to be lineup changes after the All-Star break. All right, probably not tomorrow. We'll probably still see Jarrett Jack start tomorrow. And then after the All-Star break, it sounds like there's going to be lineup changes. At least that is what was said by a couple of reporters from Jeff Hornacek. I didn't listen to the interview myself. What lineup changes would you do? And who do you want to see on the floor together? And that's what I want to ask the chat as well. Who do you want to see on the
I would like to see Mudiay and Burke on the floor together.
Mudiay and Burke. We didn't get the chance to see that tonight, did we?
Nah, we didn't. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Burke is just kind of getting the short end of the stick because, like, he's been productive in the little playing time they're giving him. And I don't know. I just feel like he's not really getting much of a chance.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know, to be honest. Maybe because he's not that tall. He's 6'1", though. So, I mean, there's plenty of good guards in the league that are that height. So, I don't know.
Is he 6'1"? I thought it was a little smaller than that.
Yeah, he is 6'1".
And
I mean, if you could ball, you could ball, though. You know what I mean? It really shouldn't matter about, like, it's not like he's like 5'8" or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the problem is that with him being, I'm looking at it right now. It says he's like 6 foot, so 6 foot, 6'1", probably 6'1" with shoes, whatever. It's the same. I think the issue is when Trey Burke is on the floor offensively. Definitely he can score for you. Sometimes he gets stuck in the paint a little bit because he's small, but he gets out of it. But defensively, like you were just saying, defensively, even though he might be able to stay with his guy and he's there with his guy, he's small. Guys can kind of bull him over because even though he's 6 foot, he's not real big.
I mean, I haven't seen nobody just like sun him though, honestly. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but guys can, but guys can, like, because they're wider than him and bigger than him. They can. It's easier for them to get around him. I think that's the issue with Trey Burke.
Yeah, I mean, what I've watched though, he looks pretty good defensively. Honestly, like he hasn't played badly defensively.
No, he hasn't played bad. He hasn't played bad.
Then the thing is too, when you're a guard, it matters less much about how big you actually are because these guys aren't posting. Most guards aren't posting up anyway, so it's like the height doesn't really get. They're not really using their height to their advantage that much most of the time.
Yeah. They're not posting up, but like on drives to the basket, that's where you can see it can be a problem because if you ever guarded someone, I don't know how tall you are, but I'm 5'10" and a half.
Yeah,
when I guard somebody that's 6'2" or 6'3", and they're just, they're longer, they're wider, and I can stay in front of them, but because they're longer and they're wider, they can still get around me because they just have more body than me. Even though I'm right there with them, they just have more body, and it makes it kind of difficult. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The one thing, like, people were comparing Trey Burke to AI. One of the differences with AI, even though he was small, AI's arms were super long. I stood next to him.
I was listening to you were saying that the other day on
his arms were super long, and I think that made a big difference. I kind of feel bad for Trey Burke though.
I mean, I just think, I don't know. He was averaging 27 points for the Westchester Knicks, so I feel like, I mean, I don't know. That's pretty impressive. I know it's the G League with 27 points. Like,
I definitely I feel bad for him. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like he's probably going to be done, or he's going to be on the end of the bench. Yeah. That's how I feel right now. And I do feel bad for him because I know he worked hard and he has come in and played some great games.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I kind of feel bad for him a little bit.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get like a little bit more of a look. Like, I don't know. He probably hasn't played over 20 minutes one game so far.
Yeah.
The thing that bothers me though, really, is just the fact that like Frank, I mean, the dude's averaging like 5 points on the season and is shooting like 35%. I just looked up his stats the other day. Like, I don't know. I don't get why like Burke can't, get some minutes if Frank ain't really doing nothing. He had a good game today, actually.
I mean,
pretty good.
He might. I mean, you got to look at the age difference too. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why. That's going to be the reason why. Frank is considered to be, the guy that they're trying to develop for the future. Trey Burke is a guy that they picked up who didn't have a job. You know what I'm saying?
He's
So
still young, though. You know what I mean? What is it, his third, fourth year in the league?
Yeah, he's still young. He's 25 years old. But, they're paying Frank, a good amount of money. They're going to try to do what they can to develop him first.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, they're going to do what they can to try to develop Frank. Yeah, I feel bad for Burke because I feel like if he doesn't make it here right now, he may not. Teams are going to look and say, he couldn't. The Knicks are a lottery team, and he couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Who's gonna want to give him a chance? Maybe he gets a chance somewhere to stick somewhere, but I just don't know if it's gonna happen for him if he doesn't make it here. But you know what? Let's see what happens because Jeff Hornacek likes guards. Like I said on Twitter earlier, you had Jarrett Jack in the game. And then Frank and Mudiay came in the game. And then after that, Trey Burke and Hardaway was in the game. Looked like an AAU team. With so many guards. You know what I'm saying? With so many guards. So, they like Hornacek likes to have guards that can penetrate. But we'll see what he does with Trey Burke. We'll see what happens with him. He has a non-guaranteed contract for next year. So if they don't waive him by a certain time next year, then he'll be guaranteed. Unfortunately, I don't think they're gonna keep him. That's just my opinion. I don't think they'll keep him. Yeah, I see somebody say Cruz says Trey Burke will be in China next year. That could be. Could be.
I don't know. I feel like if he gets an opportunity, he's gonna show out. So I don't know.
I think he'll get an opportunity though. I think they're going to go through and they're going to play all the guys. This is going to be like an extended tryout. So I think he'll get an opportunity to play. Hey, Troy, I'm going to let you go. I know we got some other people that want to call in.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate the call, bro.
Have a good one.
You too, man. Peace. Yeah, I do kind of feel bad for Trey Burke a little bit, but, that's life in the NBA. You know what I mean? It's life in the NBA. So let me ask you guys. Like I asked Troy that just got off the line. There's going to be lineup changes after the All-Star game. You probably read it. You probably read what Jeff Hornacek said about it or whatever. I want to know from you all, what lineup changes do you want to see? Not just lineup changes, but what lineups do you want to see on the floor? There'll probably be some changes to the starting lineup. Right, there'll probably be changes to the starting lineup. I'm thinking if who knows what's going to happen. There'll probably be a starter that maybe Jarrett Jack will no longer start. I wonder who gets it, Frank or Mudiay. That's going to be an interesting question, and we'll see what happens there. But what lineups do you just want to see on the floor together? Guys working together. That's what I want to know, what you want to see. Mike, what's popping, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
So, how you feel about tonight?
I like that Frank and Mudiay tandem. I saw Frank be kind of aggressive tonight. It's like he didn't have to really focus on the distribution part of it, which he usually does have to. Like Moody, and what I like, Mudiay has the body where he can take.
You say that again. Say that again about Mudiay.
The Mudiay has the NBA body. Like he could take bumps going to the rack.
Right.
Frank is not that yet. Frank is still really skinny. Like I watched the game. I was watching the game and I was like, that duo alongside what's his name, Dotson, they brought the lead back.
Yeah,
they
man.
cut it to 6. I was like, wait, what's going on here?
Yeah.
The defense with them 3 dudes on the court was nagging.
Yep.
I would hate to try to run and gun against them because they are poking at you no matter where you go.
Right. It's nagging and
communication is beautiful.
Yeah, it's nagging, and they can get out and run. So if they get a steal, get a rebound or whatever, they can get out and run and push the ball up the floor. You know, and you got
something else.
Yeah, and you know, with them getting out and running, you know, you got Frank and Mudiay can both see the floor well. You got Dotson who can spread out to three, and Mudiay can hit that. Well, all three of them can really hit the three.
Yeah,
you know all of so. That's
once they get that playing time together, man, and they get that consistency, they get that better chemistry going, it's gonna be a problem going forward, man.
Yeah.
Because Tim Hardaway is a streak shooter, but I don't feel like he has any chemistry with the rest of the players.
Yeah, I know. It's like you're right. It's like he stands alone. You know what I'm saying?
It's like he's on a mission to prove that he's worth $71 million.
Right. And
like
then
playing the offense. When he plays in the offense, he can give you 30 points quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like tonight, when he did take shots that they set up for him, he made them.
Right. And then he's like, you know, you see him all the time. He's running around, throwing his hands up, and just stuff. Sucks. And it's like, you know, just, you know, get your attitude straight. It's like he has a bratty attitude a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, get your attitude straight. Let's, you know, just ball. You see other people miss shots. Of course, you know, you see some people complain a little bit because they get hit or something like that.
Yeah, well, I can't lie to you,
but
man.
He's like bratty. Right? You know what I'm saying? He's like
bratty. Hell yeah. Spoiled.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, watching Mudiay and Frank on the floor, it was exciting. It's exciting.
It did make me feel bad for Trey Burke, though. I can't even lie.
Yeah. And I'm seeing some of the you know, people, you know, what kind of lineups that they like to see on the floor. You know, I see like Ballhead Slick says Frank, Mudiay, Hardaway, Beasley, and Cantor. You know, you'd like to see that as a lineup on the floor.
Yeah. I like it with O'Quinn too, because you got two perimeter defenders. Mm-hmm. Then you got somebody that can block shots, you know. And the good thing if you look at O'Quinn's blocks, his block comes off the help. When KP was playing, you know, he could just go up and block you because he's got good timing and he's long.
Right.
But with O'Quinn, he gets most of his blocks when the guard leads the other person into him. Like like one of them blocks, he had a block tonight where Mudiay basically ran I think Lance into him.
Mm-hmm.
And O'Quinn met him at the rim, you know? And I was like, nice, man. Watching them two play together tonight made me miss KP, man.
I was just about to say it. I so wish KP was here right now.
Oh my God!
So we could see what that would look like, man.
That made me miss KP, man. Because you know KP, especially with the way they were forcing turnovers, and the way they were forcing like bad shots. And they ran in transition. You know, KP always trailed the play and meet them at the 3-point line,
right?
Where he has the option to take the shot or that one drive to the bucket. You know,
right.
I missed him tonight. I missed him, man. I was like, God, Jesus Christ.
And look, we seen, you know, I mean, you know, Mudiay had 10 assists his first game. Threw a oop, threw an alley. Who did he throw it up to? Was it Beasley?
Yeah, it was Beasley.
You know what I'm saying? I am excited to see what's going to happen with KP and Mudiay.
Oh, my God, bro. Because, you know, KP is throwing that down. He ain't laying that in like Beasley did.
Right. You know, I'm excited to see that. You know, we talk about KP not always rolling to the basket. Yeah, I think he's going to roll to the basket. And
he's going to roll when he has somebody that's going to get it to him.
Exactly.
When he got somebody that can get it to him, he's going to roll.
Yeah.
We need to spend this draft pick on an athletic forward, man. A small forward.
Yep.
Oh my God, man.
So
that's if we're willing to keep Cantor. If he opts in, which we should keep him. Like I like what Cantor gives us. You know, he's not a shot blocker, you know, but he does use the verticality rule. He goes up straight. If you make it, you make it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know,
and maybe they need to bring somebody in that can really work with him on defense. You know, some kind of defensive specialist that can really work with him on defense, even though he doesn't have the athleticism that some of these other guys have. The foot, you know his feet are kind of slow. He can't jump. Get somebody in here that can really work with him and just really focus on his defense.
I thought about that yesterday, I think, and I was like, I feel like that's what they're doing with this whole Noah situation. because they can't trade him, and he's not. I don't think he wants to take a buyout, and I think that they don't really want to go forward with Jeff. I feel like that's what the whole was away from the team until further notice nonsense is. I feel like once they get rid of Jeff, they're going to bring Noah back to the team. He can work with Cantor on defense, because Noah's not the most athletic guy either.
That's true.
But he knows how to play positional defense.
That's true. Right.
He uses his body on defense. Cantor uses his hands, and that's why he gets a lot of these fouls, because he swings his hands a lot.
Yeah.
But Noah bumps you the whole time.
And he has to learn how to handle the screen and rolls. Sometimes he's helping a little too much.
He helps too high up.
Yeah, so he has to learn some of those things. And we got to remember, Cantor doesn't have a bunch of basketball experience either. Or
he doesn't.
And a lot of coaching either. Even though he's been in the league for a little while, he doesn't have that much basketball experience.
That's true. And he's played alongside centers who are just brutes, who do this. Throw a shoulder on you and kill you real quick,
But he's probably I would think that he's definitely gonna be on the team next year.
Yeah, he has to be.
He has to
be.
Right. Because he's gonna opt in. I would then once his contract is up, I would re-sign him at a reasonable contract.
And I think he seems like the type of guy that would take a reasonable contract if it means setting up a championship team.
Right. And I would, have a reasonable contract. And then when we got a center that is better defensively than him, that can, that fits what we do, then I'd bring Cantor off the bench. Because he's a powerhouse, man. He's a powerhouse.
That dude can get you buckets in a hurry.
He gets you buckets. Yeah.
And he gets you them buckets that gets the rest of the team fired up.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? He can rebound the ball.
That man is a machine, man.
He's a machine. I mean,
that last game, what game was it where he could barely walk at the end of the game? His back was killing him.
Yeah, right.
I felt for him. I was like, oh my God, man. Yeah. And that guy, he kept playing. You need guys like him. You need guys like Cantor. That man looks like he would play to his last breath. Like if he got one breath left in him, he's gonna play with it.
Right. And I'm gonna tell you what I like about this team. We got guys that really want to be here.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Cantor wants to be in New York. He really wants to be in New York.
Mudiay wanted to be here from the get-go.
Wants to be in New York.
Frank wanted to be here.
Frank wanted to be here. KP wanted to be here. These guys wanted to be in New York.
They want to play here.
You know what I'm saying?
He said it the other day. He wants to be here. He wants to be for the finished product. I don't think he would be for the finished product, though.
Yeah, he might not be. He might not be.
Courtney Lee's the perfect acquisition 4 years ago.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
We could not have got Mudiay at a better time.
Right. So, we looking up.
We need Frank to build that aggression up and off the ball tonight. And when they were putting pressure on Mudiay, Frank brought it up. And when they were putting pressure on Frank, he brought it up.
Exactly.
And I was I liked it. And you can see them talking because even on defense, there were a couple switches where it's like they know I'm going to switch right here because they both play the same position. They're both like positionless guards. You know?
Exactly. Right.
Now, if that's your starting backcourt going forward, let's say for your future, what are we going to do with Hardaway?
Yeah, that's the question. We got to see how that works itself out. Hey, Mike. I'm gonna let you go. We got some people calling in. I'm gonna let you go. But that's the question.
Mark at, man?
Huh?
Where's who's Mark at? I didn't see who's Mark called in.
Somebody, Daniel Watkins called in. But let me let you get out of here. All right.
Do your thing, bro.
I appreciate you, man.
All right, man.
Yeah, so we definitely, guys.
Yo.
Daniel, give me 1 second, bro. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, so we definitely got some, we got some questions and some things coming up, when we're talking about Cantor, when we're talking about Hardaway. But Cantor, I really do like Cantor. I just think he's a beast. He's the kind of guy you want to have on the team. He does have a crazy, his contract is pretty big. for next year. And the fact, you could if Cantor opted out, you would have, well, I'm not going to say you would have $18 million because we don't know how the whole salary cap works out. But you would have some money to be able to sign someone in free agency this summer. But you know what? This isn't the summer that we need to sign anyone. So I'm not too worried about it. 2019 is the summer that there's going to be some free agents on the market. And Cantor's contract ends 2019. You know what I'm saying? So, we keep Cantor for next year. He's a good guy that can get in there. He can rebound. He can score in the post. And then summer of 2019, we see what we do, and we see where Cantor fits in. You know what I'm saying? And if we can get Cantor on a good contract that allows us to bring him off the bench, where he can be a double-double guy off the bench, because if you give Cantor 25 minutes, I think he's going to be a double-double guy. You know what I'm saying? Then I think that's the way that we go with Cantor, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So, that's how it is. That's how it is. So, my man, Daniel, what's popping, man?
What's popping? How you doing, man?
Good.
I have a
Hold on 1 second, Daniel, 1 second. All right, there we go.
I got a big question that everybody is ignoring, right? So here's the thing. I see they have Mudiay and Frank, they trying to get them to play together. Now, where the hell does Tim Hardaway, where is he at? Because Tim Hardaway Jr., they putting this man at the 3. This man cannot play the 3. He can play it sometimes, but he is not a 3 at all. You know what I'm saying? You even see that he has a defensive liability. Sometimes it's not as bad, as a lot of players, but you can see like on defense, he's a liability as well. So, okay, I'm looking at this team. I'm saying we really need a small forward. Now, where is Tim Hardaway going to go? You know what I'm saying? Are we looking to get rid of Hardaway? Are we shopping Hardaway? Like, I don't know.
Well, that's what we've been talking about. That's been the question. What's going to happen? I don't know. Maybe it's premature to even go there yet. I know I brought it up because of something I was thinking about. Could be premature because it's been one one game with Mudiay. So let's see how things go. Like I said, everybody has a honeymoon period, but that's going to be something that we're going to have to address sooner or later. If Frank and Mudiay continue to have the kind of chemistry that we saw tonight,
exactly,
then eventually there's going to be a dilemma there because we're going to get a legitimate 3-man at some point.
That's what I'm saying.
Legitimate 6'7", 6'8" 3-man.
Get that to drive. One thing I was realizing, what really frustrated me, you saw how tonight Jeff Hornacek, he finally gave Mudiay and Frank some minutes. Even though they didn't look perfect, I mean, you saw that with the time you gave Frank was able to sort of correct himself, do certain things. Like he was aggressive. You get what I'm saying? You gave Frank enough time to do something. I mean, we're just being real. Like we're just thinking in reality terms. The Knicks are not making the playoffs. It's just not happening.
Oh nah, yeah, it's no way.
It's not.
We're all in. We're all in on playing the young guys.
Yes. But I don't
and seeing whatever happens from there.
I don't understand why didn't Hornacek do this when Trey Burke first sort of came in? Because I'm saying okay, the Knicks odds right now of winning games, we weren't really winning games, and I felt like if Hornacek would have gave Frank the time that he gave Frank tonight and would have continued that, you know what I'm saying, taking out Jack and all that. If he would have did that a good 2 weeks ago, I think we might be seeing a different thing here. You get what I mean?
I think that I don't know. I don't know if we would have. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's okay, so I get it. You want to withhold the guy, but now you want to play him and look, he's showing us, he could really play. So it just frustrates me why he didn't just do this earlier. He should should have been did this.
It may be. You know, I mean, you know, Frank's been getting, you know, his between 15 and 20 minutes. I think that what we've seen tonight is that knowing the situation, there is less pressure, of course, right? Because there's just less pressure. And then also, I think when you're out there, he's now out there playing with more guys that are closer to his age. You can play a little bit looser. You can play a little, you know, you don't have this, I don't want to say pressure because I'm the kind of person that, you know, to me, you create your own pressure, but you know, there's not this, you don't have to feel that you have to live up to somebody else's expectations, or that you have these older guys that you have to satisfy them, or whatever the case may be. And maybe I'm saying it wrong, but you know, you don't have to feel that way. You can feel a little bit more loose because you're playing with guys more your age. You're playing with young guys, so you can be a little bit looser, a little bit more loosey-goosey. And I think that's helping him as well, being out there on the floor with guys that are his age. That helps him a little bit, you know. And you know, let's see what happens. Of course, like you said, we're out of the playoffs. That's without a doubt. But I still want these guys, the young guys, to try to win
tonight. I love exactly what I saw tonight. You know what I'm saying? We didn't win, but they they played their game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They could build off of that. That's how a lot of great, you know, teams that build dynasties, that's how they become great. They go through that process. That's a process. That's the process you're gonna have to go through. Especially, you know, being very young in the league, you know what I'm saying? You're nowhere near your prime. Nowhere near it.
Right.
You know, you got ways to go. So I love what I see. You know, that's the only reason why I was watching them, because I want to see what these guys can do at the time they can do. So now that we see what they can do, we can say, okay, now we build off of that. That's why Knicks fans were so happy with Willie Hernangomez, because after the Knicks knew that we were not going to be going anywhere, they just played him, and they played him freely as do what you want to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
so,
we were able to see him, you know, show the full repertoire of his game. So that's what I like what I'm seeing from right now.
Yeah. So, well, you know, let's see. We'll see what happens. You know, hopefully, you know, I want them to continue to play the young guys. I think Jared Jack is going to start tomorrow. I think it's going to go the same way. He's going to start, not play as many minutes, and then after the All-Star break, you'll see some lineup changes in the starting lineup and who's really playing. And then I want them guys, young guys, to just go out there and go for it. Win or lose, go for it. And if we win games, we win games.
That's what, I'm happy with that. You keep building off of that.
Right.
So,
hey, go ahead. One more thing, and then I'm gonna let you go so we can get some other people on the line.
I'm just saying this summer is gonna be very interesting with how, you know, a lot of players, you know, they want to be here. I say, if anything, if Scott Perry, he pulled a gotta give the man credit. You know what I'm saying? That was a heck of a deal for the type of upside that Mudiay has. I think that in the summer, if I was the Knicks, I would try to get rid of O'Quinn, and I would make Lee my backup shooting guard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. Hey, Daniel, I appreciate the call. Appreciate the call. And I'm going to get off because I know we got some other people trying to call in. Appreciate it, bro.
No problem.
All right. Yeah, Scott Perry, he's been impressive so far, I think. I think Scott Perry's been has been methodical. He's been prudent so far, and you know, I have some trust in him. E. Moss, I see you say Mudiay, Lee, Beasley, Cornet, and Cantor. That's lineups that you'd like to see. You know, some lineups that I'd like to see. I want to see Trey, Ntilikina, and I want to see Trey, Ntilikina, and Mudiay together. I want to see what them guys look like together on the floor. You know, I mean, everybody else we've kind of seen what they look like. I'd like to see, of course, I want to see Cornet a little bit more. play with Mudiay a little bit more, because Mudiay is going to be able to find him out there on that 3-point range. And I want to see what else Corner can do. I seen him dribble the ball a little bit today. He didn't play the way he played last game, but that's cool. Get to see Corner a little bit more and see what he can do. All right, so let me see. I got Raymond on the line. We'll give a shout out to the chat.
Hey, what's up, man? Shout out to the chat, man. How's everybody, man? Man, that was a... Hello?
Yeah, we here.
Yeah, man. What I wanted to say with the lineups, I really like what I saw with the three guys, Mudiay, Frank, and Dotson. I think putting Cornette just to kind of simulate KP a little bit in terms of his stretchability and help us on the defense down there with Kent. I think that lineup going on towards the end of the year, I think we should explore that a lot more.
Okay.
Because it's going to give us that. We could keep Beasley coming off the bench. But the thing is, what we're looking at, like when I watched the game tonight, after they beat the guards and going, we don't have no rim protection.
Right.
And Kent, as we talk about, we all alluded to that he's not an athlete. This kid just gave us, how much blocks the last game? Like, at least he could change the trajectory of the shots after they get in there. I think that's the best bet for us because that's a lot of firepower, a lot of one of our better defensive lineup. Because going with Beasley, man, we can't get that help defense down low as the power forward. And I think that really suffocate us a lot in terms of that part of the game. But man, shout out to that kid, man. Mudiay really did his thing tonight, man. I like that trade, man.
Yeah, he played nice. he could have shot a little bit better. I think he shot 37.5% from the field or something like that. But that's been the knock on him so far in his career. But remember, he's only been in the league for 3 years. Yeah. So hopefully he can get his shot. His mid-range is not bad.
Good.
It's not bad.
I like it.
You know what I'm saying?
He's picking the spots right, though. He's picking the spots right to take those shots.
Yep. He's got to pick the right spots. I think he'll be good. I think he'll work out for us. I hope he works out for us, but I think he will. I think he will
because I just seen that one play when he threw the lob to Michael Beasley. I'm just like, damn, that should have been KP catching that, right?
Right.
Because you see his vision, even with the lead pass up the court to KO, when he guy just running. I think KO wasn't even surprised the ball even come up there because none of the guards have put that forth, and I think Frank is the best one to do it. But I think he's gonna learn a lot watching Mudiay because Jack was too slow to show. I think I've always pointed this out throughout the season. The pace by which our team plays by is what suffocates us a lot, and we can't get a good pace with Jack because he's too slow, and Frank is just learning. So it was like the offense sputter at times, like it slowed down, and I'm just like, But this kid, man, he got a motor.
Yeah, and you seen the pace tonight. The pace was a lot faster tonight.
Yes, even that comeback towards between the third and the fourth when he had those three guys in, and as soon as I saw Tim Hardaway runs to the bench to the scorers table, I was like, we're gonna blow this one.
Yeah,
and it happened. It happened because you gotta look. Oladipo got him out of Oladipo's six steals. That's like 4 of them was on Timmy.
Yeah.
He owned him.
Yeah.
So it was like, to me, and then when you realize when Timmy was in the game, that's when Oladipo was getting off because Timmy don't fight over the screens like the other guys.
Right.
Frank and them was fighting, trying to get over there. You can even see when our Dotson, he caught them on a moving screen because he wasn't stopping.
Right.
And I think that, and then when he hit that shot, I can't remember at the end, when he sealed that last three he had hit to just kind of finish the game. When Michael Beasley was kind of playing him just to contain the driver kind of thing, and Timmy just quit.
Yeah.
And I was just
Yeah, I was upset off of that. As soon as they switched, I was like, "Why did you switch?
Why is he?
Why are you switching?" As soon as, yeah,
he does that all the
switched.
time, man. He does that all the time, and that's where I think he plays. To me, he's not playing starter defense at all. Like I don't. Yeah. I know they paid him $70 million and all that, but he gotta like get out of that babying phase and huddle with the team, man. Play for the team. Like he's just trying to, like, at the end of the games, even look at the Bucks games, the same thing he did this game. He kind of just like gets like he goes in this panic phase and just like just like throw away the game. Like, I don't know why he's been around a while. His father was an NBA player. He should have like that kind of calmness. Yeah. At the end of the game at least,
But, you know, it's his first time being one of the focal points of the team. So, you know, maybe next year he'll be, you know, a little more experienced with it. Hey, but Raymond, I got a couple people that's trying to call in, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man.
I appreciate the call. Yeah, give the chat a shout out one more time. Give the chat a shout out one more time.
Shout out to the chat and shout out to the tank.
Yeah, all right, man. Appreciate it, bro.
Man. Yeah, man. Much love.
Yeah. All right, we got a million callers tonight. I like it though. My man, who we got on? Q. Give me a second, Q. I just want to talk about something right quick. All right. Yeah, I want you guys. Oh, hit the wrong one. There we go. I want you guys to look. We got up 93 shots tonight. Played at a much faster pace. You know what I'm saying? We pushed the ball up the floor. That's what we want. We've been begging for this all year. You know, all year we've been wanting the Knicks to push the pace a little bit more, get the ball up the floor a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? But you see, we got up 93 shots. We shot 44.1% from the field. Only shot 25% from three. You know, we went to the line 25 times. That's good. We pushed the pace. Right? Now, part of it is Indiana plays a fast pace. You know, but we are, you know, we're pushing the pace, and this is the way I hope we play the rest of the season. I know Jeff Hornacek wants to play this way. I know he does. So hopefully we continue to play this way. And part of it is because we had two playmaking guards in the game for a big portion of the game. You know, we got hurt on the boards. 54. We gave up 54 rebounds. You know, to a team that's not really a good rebounding team. You know, we had 27 assists, only 11 turnovers. That's pretty good. You know, the big thing is we didn't make threes tonight. You know, we only shot 25.7% from three. I'm not going to say tonight because we're not a big 3-point shooting team, but we shot 25.7%. We lost the game by 8 points. We make a couple of more threes and it's a different game. A couple more threes and it's a different game. But so let me open it up. Q, why don't you give a shout out to the chat, my man?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Doing pretty good.
Like the show.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, I think that everybody looking at some things the wrong way, man. I didn't know about the Mudiay trade.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that maybe it's a possibility that we should have gave McDermott a little bit longer time, but I like the trade after seeing how Mudiay play.
Okay.
I think that he pushed the ball real good. I don't think somebody was just saying that Frank is slow. I think Frank know how to push the pace the right way. Sometimes he need to push it more, but he know how to push it the right way. Mudiay, when he pass, he's a good passer.
Yeah.
But he more like to pass on the outside to where people are hitting threes and stuff like that. Frank is a better passer to throw it inside.
Okay. I think, you know, I've seen people say that about Frank. You know, he's slow. I disagree. I've seen, and I think we've all seen Frank, you know, put some speed in his play. You know, we've seen him explode to the basket a couple of times. He's just the kind of player that picks and chooses his spots. You know, he really doesn't, he's very careful. He doesn't force the issue. and he picks and chooses his spots. And I've seen times when he can explode. You know, so I don't think he's slow at all. You know, he just knows how, he just has a good concept of, or I don't want to say concept. He really understands change of pace. I'll say that again. He really understands change of pace. You know? Yeah. And you know, sometimes he might need to use that change of pace a little more often. You know, but he's got to learn that. You know, he's got to learn how to use it in the NBA. So he will. And a couple guys that just called in, Ron Martinez, another guy called in. Give me a little bit. We got Q on the line, and then, you know, I'm definitely going to get to you guys. So, you know, make sure you call back.
Yeah. So I just think that I think Frank is a good piece. Like they got to give him a chance. He's learning, but he's gonna be great. To me, he's gonna be great, and Mudiay gonna be great too. I don't know who they're gonna make start. Now Jax is out next year. He might be out, and about time it's almost time to hit the playoffs. I think it's always a possibility for us to make it. It's never a possibility for us to miss it.
You say so? You saying Jared Jack is out next year? You said.
Yeah, he's out by next year. If he stay, he's just staying just to be a consultant. Right. He's out by next year.
Right. If he stays on the team, he's just going to be a mentor to Mudiay and Frank. But he'd be a good guy to be a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'd be a good guy to be a mentor.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Like I don't. Just to let you know, I'm not a just starting to be a Knicks fan. I've been a Knicks fan for years, probably since I was like 3 years old.
Okay. All right. That's what's up.
I got the Patrick Ewing jersey for years. Right. Authentic.
Shout out.
Authentic. Man, my book is Knick picks all day. Like all that is Knick. I got Charlie Ward football card.
All right. That's what's up.
But I'm telling you, the Knicks, I think all they missing is like, I think Tim Hardaway, I don't know what's wrong with him. I think being that the roster is keep on changing.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Hornacek don't know how to place who he need to place in. Sometimes he need to let people run a little bit longer because they're hot, but he takes them out.
Yeah.
And sometimes Tim Hardaway, he gets hot, but then he don't get hot. I don't care if KP is the star player. If he's not doing his thing, put him on the bench. Bring him back out a little bit later, but put him on the bench. Like that's when you know you're a great coach from just an okay coach.
I
Jeff
feel
Hornacek is an okay coach. Sit your stars on the bench. I don't care. The game is about winning, not about who's the best player.
I feel you. And, you know, time is going to tell whether or not Jeff Hornacek is going to be the guy. You know, we know he's going to play out this year. And then I'm sure Scott Perry's going to, you know, look and talk to him, talk to some players, exit interviews, and kind of make a decision from there. You know, as far as what's going to happen with Jeff Hornacek and the rest of the coaching staff, because and you know, Jeff Hornacek is kind of, to be honest with you, he's not even dealing with his own coaching staff. You know, he's got a hodgepodge of coaching staff, of assistant coaches and stuff like that. So
yeah. So I got two more questions for you.
All right. Let's move because I know I got some people trying to call in.
I'm gonna just give you two more questions.
All right.
The question is, if we don't have Jeff Hornacek, who's gonna be the next three coaches that we might get? And the second one is, have you seen Patrick Ewing coaching for Georgetown? Because he's acting like a beast right now. He's really beasting on them if they're not making the right plays and the right move.
Right. Yeah. I've seen that. With Patrick Ewing. And you know, this might be, you know, he gets his training ground as a head coach in the spotlight at Georgetown, and then maybe, you know, he'll get something in the NBA. But I like, you know, of course, I haven't been able to get there to see him, but I plan to at some point. Of course, I love Patrick Ewing. That's my all-time favorite Knick. But as far as the next three coaching picks, I'm gonna say Mark Jackson would be in the running. I really think David Blatt is gonna be in the running. And then I know a lot of people say Fizdale would be a good guy. And those three guys sound like they could be really good candidates.
Who's Fizdale?
From Memphis that got fired.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, so I'm going to let you go, man, because I know I got some people calling in. Definitely appreciate the call. You know what I'm saying? Make sure call back again, bro.
Most definitely.
All right, appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
All right, no problem. You too.
All right. Well, we busy tonight, folks. We busy tonight. My man Tony Crow, what's popping, bro?
What's going on, Simeon?
What's up, man?
I missed the game, so I don't really know, who did what. So I figured you could fill me in on that.
Man, it was
and your Black is what up, chat?
Time of game, baby, for sure. It was I think you would have loved it, man, if you seen the game. Our boy Ntilikina played well. He had 12 points, played 30 minutes.
Okay.
Jared Jack played like 8 minutes or whatever it was. Mudiay, 14 points, 10 assists. You know what I'm saying? His first game, he shot like 37% from the field, but 14 points, 10 assists. He went to work.
What's up? They played together a lot.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, in the first quarter, Frank got in, and then Mudiay came in maybe a minute afterwards or less, 30 seconds afterwards, and then they played from that point, and that was about 7 minutes in the first quarter. They played from that point until about 6 minutes in the second quarter.
Nice,
you know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So they played together for a while, and it looked good. You know what I'm saying? It was seamless. It was seamless. There was no. It didn't look incoherent. It didn't look like they were, not meshing well. They seemed to mesh perfectly together. It looked good.
Nice.
It looked good.
Nice.
And then they played about the same amount of minutes together in the second half. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's definitely that's something that I think we're looking forward to in the future. You know what I mean? Them two going to be playing together, and some good things going to happen between them two.
Yeah. I heard you said the next game's tomorrow?
Yeah, they play Philly tomorrow.
All right, good. I can see that when I'm off.
Yeah. Yeah, they play Philly tomorrow. So I'm excited. You know, I don't care if we win or lose. Of course, I'm rooting for them to win. I'm always rooting for them to win. You know what I'm saying? Because, you got young guys out there. If they can get wins, they can get a win here and there.
It's good for their psyche.
It's good, right? And more, even if they don't win, I just want them to be in games, to be there, play well, and be in the game, because then they know they can compete on that level.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, they're playing Philly.
It's nothing worse than a young team who isn't competing. And like that's terrible for your psyche.
Right. And they're playing hard. All the things that Scott Perry said at the beginning of the year that he wanted to see from the team before we got caught up in thinking that we could maybe make the playoffs, we've seen it all tonight.
Good.
Young guys on the floor playing hard, trying to win, trying to learn, and how to play the game. And we saw that all tonight. You know what I mean? So that was our defense. I mean, we scored 113 points. We shot the ball 93 times. So we played at a faster pace. We need to, if we want this young group to win a few games, they're going to have to play some defense. That's going to be.
How did Beasley play?
Beasley? I think Beasley had 14, 15 points, something like that. I had to check it. I think he had 14, 15 with, with some rebounds, of course. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me check that right quick.
All right.
Beasley. I'll bring this over.
It's important for him right now to establish himself. I mean, I like to keep him on like maybe a mid-level 3-year mid-level deal or something. But even if it's not here, I mean, you know, he had his second chance, third chance. You know, even though somebody will snatch him up, but he's in a position where he just want to settle down and know he's gonna be with this 18 for a few years.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, and he needs that. He needs that in his career. Yeah. So Nameem Son said 16 points, 13 rebounds. That's what I got up here now too. Yeah, 16 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists. He played good. You know, he played good. Shot 50% from the field. Cantor, 17 points, 11 rebounds. He shot 66.7% from the field. Courtney Lee had 14 points. Tim Hardaway has 17 points. He shot 41% from the field, but he really, even though he had 17 points, he didn't really play well. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really play well.
Forcing shots and stuff.
Yeah, forcing some bad shots, you know, kind of in his head. You know what I mean? Trey Burke didn't play much, 7 minutes. Damian Dotson got a little bit of burn. Isaiah Hicks didn't play at all.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about Isaiah Hicks.
Yeah, I'm not sure about him either.
Like, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure about it.
I know he was putting up pretty decent numbers in the G League, but I didn't really watch any games. I just checked a couple stats here and there.
Yeah.
But I'm not too sure about him.
Yeah, Luke Cornett, he played 13 minutes. He had like 2 rebounds or something like that. Yeah, like you know, a couple of rebounds. He missed a couple of 1 or 2 open threes. He was 0 for 3, but you know, he'll get his chance.
Yeah, I was reading up on him. I guess he leads the NCAA in 3-pointers from a 7-footer.
Yeah.
All time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So but
yeah,
overall, I think it was a good night for the Knicks. I think it was a good night. You know what I'm saying? I definitely think it was a good night for the team.
I'm hoping they put a rewind up. They don't usually do it when we lose, but I'm thinking because Muday's first game, they might just do it.
Yeah, they might put a rewind up. They might. Yep. They might do that.
I'll let you at the chat. I know they watched the game. They're gonna want to talk about what happened.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black, it's time. I'll catch you tomorrow.
All right, man. All right, later. All right, so let's move on, man. I want to talk a little bit about, you know, since we know what's going on with the Knicks, it's time to really start looking at the draft. All right? Time to start looking at that draft. And right now, we're somewhere around have somewhere between the 10th, 11th, 12th draft pick, something like that. And all draft boards that I've looked at have us taking Mikal Bridges. Right? That's what I've seen in just about every draft board that I've looked at. You know, so right now, and I think this has changed because we traded away a draft pick. We traded away a second-round draft pick, but right now we have a first-round draft pick and 2 second-round draft picks. Now, to get Mudiay, we traded away one of the second-round draft picks, and I believe it's whichever draft pick is the best we keep. All right, whichever one is the best we keep. So this is where we are right now. All right, and right now, I got Mr. Ron Martinez on the line. Hey, Ron, give me 1 second, all right? I know you've been calling in. I know you've been trying to get in. You know what I'm saying? But it's been busy. It's definitely been busy tonight. You know what I'm saying? So just okay, cool. All right, bet. Now go ahead. Give a shout out to the chat, please.
Shout out to the chat.
Yeah. So, what are you thinking about? Well, first, just tell me what you thought about the game, and then we could talk about this draft a little bit.
Okay. Before I forget, early in the podcast, you was talking about people didn't want. If anyone's brought this to your attention, but it's happened to me. I noticed when I get on the phone with you on YouTube, when I only watch your podcast through my phone, it's like a delay. It's like a few minutes behind.
Yeah.
So I noticed that after I get on the phone with you, so that could be that when they're calling in, they're thinking there's nobody on the line, and maybe there's a delay on their end, and you're actually talking to someone, but on their end, it sounds like the person already hung up.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that I don't know how to fix that, but I noticed that when I get off the phone with you, I'm thinking it's like real time, but when I get off the phone with you, you still probably were the last caller.
yeah, I know.
When I'm watching YouTube.
But there's some people who like we could be right in the middle and they're still still calling, and I know that's part of the problem. Sooner or later, I'm gonna get a system where I could just have some people on hold and then I could just pick them up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I don't know. With me, I got a delay on my end, so I don't know because maybe it's the provider that I have with my phone. So who knows what it is?
Nah, it's YouTube. It's because it's going from. So my video is going into a system here, and then from this system it has to go into YouTube system. So there's a delay. Getting to you all.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a delay getting it to you all. So. And it's not too much of a. I can maybe make the delay a little bit. I can make the delay maybe a little bit better, but then the quality, like the crispness of the video and those kind of things, will be downgraded. So it's about trying to get the right balance. But I'm working it. All I gotta do is try to find a better system than Skype, so that it's not ringing, or find a way to shut off this. I've been trying to find a way to shut off the the notification so that I see it, but you guys don't hear it. But I'll get that worked out at some point.
All right, bro. I hear you.
Yeah, but
so about the game, you say you want to talk. What is it you want to talk about? That you want to
well, I'm just looking at just kind of looking at what the draft board looks like right now. For 2018. Right now, most boards have us drafting Michael Bridges, however it is pronounced. Have us have this getting Bridges.
I was talking.
What is
Villanova, right?
Yeah, Villanova, like 6'7".
He plays for.
Yep, shooting guard, small forward.
The guy was the other day, to get that guy. The other guy, I think he's hurt, and he's probably gonna go a lot higher in the draft.
Yeah. Oh, you're breaking up pretty bad.
So
yeah, hey Ron, you're breaking up real bad.
Hold on, can you hear me? Let me move on.
There we go. Yeah, that's better. That's better.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
My bad.
Yeah.
But I like the fact, like you were saying earlier, like the lineup. I don't know if anyone, but I want to see. Especially now that we're probably out. You're definitely out of the playoffs. When we start playing these teams that are trying to make a push for the playoffs, where the game counts for them, it doesn't count for us, but it counts for them. I want to see all our young players in those games.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I want to see Cornette. Like one lineup I like to see to maybe jumpstart the offense. Like I would like to see a backcourt of Mudiay and Burke, and then the front line of Cornette, Cantor, and Beasley. And then of course, you can start making switches, as far as substitutions for defense, of course. But if we can just get kickstart the offense, put all your offensive players. But I want to see more youth in there. I want to see Cornette. I want to see that chemistry with Mudiay and all the young guys, because right now, because I know we're Knicks fans. I mean, the beginning of the season, how the big, the hot start that KP was on, and we Knicks fans, we do it all the time. We overreact. Oh my God, we're going to the finals, and some Knicks fans are like, I'm not like that, but I know there's Knicks fans out there that they just a little bit of success and they overdo it. But to me, is that because easily this is like right now like a tryout for I guess Scott Perry and Steve Missy, what we have going into summer, because players sometimes when there's nothing on the line and there's no pressure, you can have a big game. I want to see how these guys perform against teams who are trying to get into the 8th spot or that 7th spot, or on the outside looking in, and then put our young players and see how we play against those stars. Because those guys are fighting for a playoff spot. We out of it, but you already know those guys. They're coming to play. They're playing for something. You know.
Right.
So I want to see our young players in those type of games.
Yeah, we definitely want to see that. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? See how they perform against that top-notch competition, guys who are, like they're fighting for their playoff lives. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and I came up with another nickname. I don't know if somebody already used it, but I put it in the chat. You remember that movie that came out in the 70s with Gene Hammond called French Connection? Yeah.
Yeah, the French Connection.
Yeah, so we have if they have any success, Mudiay and Frank, if they decide to keep that backcourt together. But I think in a way, I kind of feel like maybe Scott Perry is maybe kind of trying to put his imprint on this team, saying, he didn't draft Ntilikina, he didn't draft Ntilikina or KP,
Right.
So, it could be a situation where he's trying to put his imprint on this team, and we'll see what happens. But, I think it's crucial this summer, with the picks and who we decide to bring back, because like I was telling you the other night, KP, which I don't know when his rookie contract, but does his contract expires after his injury, like the year after, or
after? Yeah, after his injury.
Yeah, so that's gonna be. I think that's gonna be kind of like a real big year for KP, because if he's not 100%, I don't know if the Knicks are gonna want to shot that money, or if Scott Perry's still around. Like, because now he has to make a decision. Like, if this guy is not healthy, how much you gonna bring him back for?
Right. Yeah. And that's gonna be something that the Knicks are gonna have to. They're gonna have to come to it. It's something. That's gonna be a big decision, a big one. Real big decision, you know what I'm saying? Because he's going to, of course, he's going to go through his healing process. He's going to come back. And then we got to see how he plays.
How he plays. Exactly. That's a big if. How he comes back.
Got to see how he comes back. That's going to be,
so right now, I think the fans need to not put all their eggs or hang their hat on just KP. We don't know how long it's going to take for him to be 100%. I mean, look what Isaiah Thomas is right now. Yeah. He had the hip injury. He's a little guy.
Right. Right. So right now we don't know. So I think, like you said, it's interesting what we're gonna do with the draft. Like we said about that the other night, and I definitely want to see the youth in these big games. I don't care if it's against Golden State but especially against teams that try and get in there, because that's the only way. You can't duplicate that in practice. Yeah.
No matter how, you can't duplicate that in practice. But in a real life game situation,
you can't.
I definitely want to see Cornette. I want to see what's the other guard we have?
Mudiay, Trey Burke, Dotson.
Dotson. Like the last caller was mentioning, put all those guys in there. All of them.
Yep, definitely. I want to see what they do, see how they react for sure.
No doubt.
Hey, Ron, man, thank you for the call.
No problem.
I know we got a couple other people that want to call in. Appreciate it, bro.
Not a problem.
Yeah, we definitely have some decisions to make coming up. And I seen somebody just say that we're currently at number 9 on the draft board. And, that could be, I pulled up that. I don't, it's going to change back and forth from now until the end of the year. But what I'm looking for is a small forward that that's tough, can shoot the 3, can handle the ball, all around kind of player, and of course play defense. And Bridges is he fits it. If we're in that draft position, he fits that mold. Now I see Jacob Harris. I think it says Harris. Jacob Harms. You say Kevin Knox. You know, and of course, a lot's going to depend on where we are in our draft positioning. But, you know, what I'm going to start to do is look at each one of these guys where we could be in position for and begin to, you know, just look at, you know, do some background on them and look at what they are and what's going to be the best fit for our team. You know, what's going to be the best fit for our team. Right now, you know, Bridges, you know, a lot of these boys have Bridges coming to the Knicks. And that definitely could be. You know, but that's going to depend on where we are in the draft. And the way that things are going now, most likely we're going to move up in the draft. You know, we're probably, you know, if we're at the 9th spot now, so this was updated on 2/2/18. Oh, you don't see what I'm looking at. This was updated on 2/2/18. I don't know if, you know, if you know of one that's been updated more recently than that, let me know. But right now, this is updated 2/2/18. If we're up a little bit higher, maybe Kevin Knox is a guy. He's a little bit longer. I like that. He's a little bit longer. I like that 6'9", small forward size. You know, you can go. You can kind of go from small forward to a power forward. I like that kind of a size. You know, but it is possible that we move up even further. Do we get into this area? I don't know. I don't know if we get into that top 5 area. It's possible, but you got to remember those teams are going to continue to lose as well. You know, they're going to continue to lose as well. Right now, we're ahead of them in the standings. I don't know if we get to that top 5 area. It's possible, but I'm not sure. You know, could we trade into that top 5 area? Maybe. You know, it's possible that we trade into that top 5. We have some flexibility with our roster to be able to make trades. We have some flexibility with, you know, we have picks going forward. If we really thought there was somebody in there that was going to be a transformational guy, we have picks going forward that we could make decisions about. You know, so it's the first time in a long time that we really have some flexibility with our roster. We have assets that we can use, you know. So I think, you know, we've got to see. We'll see where this goes. You know, we'll see where it goes, and we'll see, you know, how we move forward. And then, of course, we got a 2nd round pick that we can use. So it's going to be some interesting things happening. But right now, I'm really glad, you know, we're focusing on the young guys. I want to continue to see these young guys grow and develop. Trade no picks. You know what? I'm with you on that, Jawworthy. I'm definitely with you on that. I'm with you 100%. Trade no picks. I was just saying that is an option that's out there. You know, that's the kind of flexibility that we have. But I agree with you. I'm gonna say trade no 1st round picks. From what I understand, Scott Perry wants to collect picks. Maybe even do the type of thing that Danny Ainge did in Boston. You know, you collect picks and now you got assets to burn, you know, if you need to. You know, so, you know, I'm going to, you know, start breaking down these guys and really looking at players and pulling things up about them so that we, you know, we have a good sense of the possibilities, you know, and who we might bring in. And yeah, guys, you know, just talking about, I just want to go back a little bit. You know, the delay. I know there's a delay, but of course, you know, all of these are recorded and uploaded, so I have to strike a balance between the quality of the video and also the delay. You know, I'll play around with it and see if we can, you know, get it a little bit more, you know, so that there's not a delay. But you know, mess around with it a little bit. But I know, you know, that's part of the issue with the calling in, and sometimes I might even respond to the chat late because there's a delay. But shout out to my man Marty Knicks. I seen he gave me a super chat. Big shout to Marty Knicks. Couldn't get to it at the time because I had a caller or something on the line. But big shout out to you, Marty, for sure. So I want to talk about this Philadelphia game. Even though, you know, this, you know, we're not really going to be breaking the game down a whole lot. we're just kind of talking about, what we expect to see. What do we want to see from the team? We play in Philadelphia. It's on NBA TV. Game starts at 7 p.m. tomorrow. All that I want to see is Ntilikina and Mudiay playing together. That's not all that I want to see, but that's the main thing that I want to see. I want to continue to see them play together. I do want to see Trey Burke and Mudiay play together a little bit. I want to see Trey, Mudiay, and Frank play together. I want to see a little bit more of Luke Cornett and Mudiay. A lot of things that I want to see is going to revolve around Mudiay, of course. So I just want to see these guys play together. I want to see the Knicks play. I want to see if we can play up tempo again, right, and continue to push the ball, play a fast pace. We've been asking for all year long, and we got a good idea of what these two can do together, pushing the pace. But it was controlled. It wasn't like they were just crazy. It was controlled. They push the ball up the sideline and try to find something. If they couldn't, then they try to get a secondary break. That's what I want to see, and I want to see them continue to do it. I'm pretty sure they'll spend some time tonight, maybe breaking down and looking at some film, with Mudiay and talking about some things that he could have done, looking at potential plays on the floor, and I want to see how fast he grasps it. I'm gonna honestly, one thing that I was concerned about with Mudiay when we were considering drafting him was his basketball IQ, but he seems to have a pretty good basketball IQ. Decent, at least. He seemed to pick up the offense and what we do quickly. He seemed to pick it up quickly without too much of a problem. And when he really starts to break it down, and he learns it, then I want to see what he does then. I want to see how he goes in. And I think that he'll continue to get better as he breaks it down and he learns it. I hope that when that happens, he doesn't begin to think too much on the floor. And I don't think he will. I think that, what he's got to do is start to learn the offense. They'll get a chance to practice, and he'll be able to go through the offense and learn different nuances of the offense. But then I think what he has to do is just go out there and play. Right? Play natural. Don't think about everything. Because if you start thinking about too much, did you make the right play? Did you do this? Did you do that? Then you start, not playing well. I think he just needs to go out there and play. And continue. As they practice, he'll pick up the offense, and it'll come natural. So I'm very excited to see what he can do when he really picks it up. And him and Frank have worked together for a little while. I think it could be something special possibly. Scott Perry did well. He did well with this one. I seen somebody ask who's the point guard, Frank or Mudiay. I don't think you need to ask that question because either one of them can play the point guard on the floor. Now, if you're asking who is the natural leader, that'll come in time, right? Any team, any group of people you get together, someone's going to rise up to the top and be the leader. That'll come in time. We'll know. It'll happen. Someone will rise up and end up being that leader on the floor. I don't think we have to push it and say, you're the leader or you're the leader. Let them play it out. But right now, as far as being a point guard on the floor, both of them are. They're both guards that can create for others. They're both guards that if one has the ball, the other can move to the off guard. And they can do it interchangeably. Now, there will come a time where the coach is going to trust somebody with bringing in the plays, bringing in the calls. We'll see who that is. You know, and I think that'll come naturally. You know, so Jeff will have one person, one of those guys that he trusts to be the one who does what he wants on the floor and says, this is what we need to do. That'll come naturally. They got some time. You know, but that's what I want to see tomorrow. I want to see more of that. You know, as far as game planning for them, I don't care. You know, I don't care too much. I just want to see them use the young guys, play the young guys, and look at lineups that could possibly work in the future. You know, and how pieces work together. This is the perfect time for them to really start to really structure us for the future. Because we were stuck with, you know, some players that maybe didn't fit Hornacek's system. Now we're in an extended tryout, you know, an extended preseason, so to speak. And we can really look at guys and pick and choose who can do what, when, where, why, and how, and the system that we want to play. This is the time to do it. It's time to get it done. You can see how players react under pressure. You can see how players, you know, like Ron was saying, when we play a team that's fighting for a playoff spot, we can see how we show up. What kind of energy? Are we scared? Can we play defense? Can we actually play with those guys? Do we have the same type of, you know, do we have guys that have the ability to play on that level, you know, when the game is really intense? We'll get to see that. That's going to be good. So, my people, my crew, I'm going to head out. I'm excited about this game tomorrow still. You know, I can't wait to, you know, watch these guys play with each other. But I'm gonna head out, and I'm gonna do some more research on draft on players to draft, because you know that's gonna become a big part of the show, because that's where we are with the New York Knicks. All right, tomorrow's game is at 7:00. It's on NBA TV, so don't forget to check that out. All right, not check it out. I know you're gonna check it out, but don't forget where the game is. Anyone that I couldn't get on the line, I apologize. There were a lot of people calling in, and you know, we're going to work it out. You know, start working it out so we can get everyone on the line. We'll find a way to get it done. Stick with me. I'm glad. I know everyone is sticking with me. You know, thank you for sticking with me and whatnot. And hey, French, you could be the first one. I really got to run. You could be the first one tomorrow to call in, bro. I really got to run. But everybody, I always enjoy the chat. I want to give a big shout out to French Unicorn, Siobhan Robinson, Mighty Knicks for the super chats. French, like I said, I'll give you some extended time tomorrow, bro. I promise you that. But I'm out. Have a good night. Get some rest. Get ready for work tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? One love, y'all. If you enjoyed this live stream, please subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell so you can get a notification anytime that I go live. Check out these videos over here. Stay updated on the New York Knicks. Peace.